Hello again, everyone. This will be one of my last videos on the Beyond the Rules basic series before I go on to a bit more advanced topics. And the topic I would like to discuss today, present to you, is that of capturing races. What are they and how to handle them? Capturing races are a different kind of fight than what we've seen so far. In what we've seen so far, we looked at fights where groups had very few liberties and they had to defend themselves or fix capture, or groups had problems with their base, space for eyes, and there was a fight saying if they could escape or make the eyes. A capturing race is a different kind of fight. In a capturing race, both sides are cut off. There's no escape and no chance of making two eyes. It won't be a race at all. So it's a race to see who captures the other one first. Capturing races, or semi-eyes as they're called in Japanese, you will notice this term if you look at other guides or sources for the game, are extremely common in the game of Go. And it's very important to get to know your way around them, not to just freak out when you meet one, you encounter one in your games. The most basic idea in a capturing race is to count the liberties each side has. So in this case, this black group is in a fight with this black group, but none of them can escape. So they're in a race to capture. Let's count the liberties. The black group has 3 liberties, and the white group has 3 liberties. That means that whoever gets to move first will win the race. If it's black's turn, he'll just fill in a white liberty. And now white has 2 liberties and black has 3. And it doesn't really matter whose turn it is now, even if white plays elsewhere, or if he responds, white would lose this fight. And white should play elsewhere. That's a very important concept of every part of the game of Go. Don't play if you don't need to. If your move doesn't change anything, don't play it. I mean, if white just plays anywhere despite him losing, he'll just change nothing at all. He won't do that if it doesn't help him. It's a wasted move. And let's say white plays elsewhere. Black thinks, well, I think I'm winning this, but I'm not completely sure. Maybe I should add another move. And by doing that, black didn't need this move. What black did is invited white to get points elsewhere. The points he lost in the race. He lost the move. Actually invited his opponent back into the game. Why would you want to do that after you've won a nice capture? So don't waste moves. Every move is precious. You have only one of them every turn. And 1 stone each turn. Okay, back to the topic of capturing races. What happens when there are liberties inside the area of the capturing race, shared between the groups? Well, not all liberties are created equal. The marked liberty is a triangled liberty, is called a shared liberty, or an inside liberty. It's shared between the groups in the capturing race that are endangered in the race. And the square marked points are called outside liberties. Liberties not shared by the groups. These liberties on the right side of the 3 black stones, and they're involved in the capturing race, are not related in any way to these liberties on the left side of the white group. The important thing to note is to feel the outside liberties first, because if whoever turn it is to move fills the inside liberty first, the shared liberty, what he's doing is filling his own liberty as well as the opponent's liberty. So he's not really gaining any grounds. Suddenly both sides of the liberties, it's white's turn, and black now has less liberties. He will lose the race. Whereas if black filled the outside liberties first, he would only be reducing his opponent's liberty and would be one liberty ahead. Let's see how this would go. And that's it. White stones are in Atari. They would be captured next turn, and black stones still have 2 liberties. What happens if there are many inside liberties or more? The exact amount changes from race to race. For the exact characteristics of the race, but this will be a bit more advanced for this video. I'm just presenting the basic ideas, types of fights and results that can occur. In this race, it seems that the white group has 4 outside liberties and 2 inside liberties, and the black group has 4 outside liberties and 2 shared liberties, inside liberties. So it seems that whoever's turn it is to move will win. Let's see. Black tries to win, fills in an outside liberty, and white does the same. And let's see what happens if this goes all the way. Both sides filled all the outside liberties. But now they are facing a problem. No one really wants to try to take the other, to capture him, because if black Atari's white, he's actually putting himself in Atari, and white would say thank you and capture. And if white plays there, then he would be placing himself in Atari. So no one can really win this race. This is called a seki. So capturing race can result in a seki, which is a situation where none of the groups are dead, but no side has any points there. Next, a very important issue in capturing races is called eye versus no eye. In this position, well, it may seem that white has 3 liberties here, and 4th liberty is inside the eye point, and 2 inside liberties, 6 liberties altogether, and black has 4 outside liberties and 2 inside liberties altogether. Seems like an equal fight. If black moves first, he should win, right? Let's see. Black starts filling the outside liberties, so does white. And then we're starting to see black's problem. Because of the eye point, he has to fill the shared liberties. He has to play on these points before he can capture white on the eye point. On J19, which means he'll have to fill in his own liberties. But he can never capture white, because if he ever tries to Atari white, he's taking his own last liberties away. He only has 1 left, and white would again say thank you and capture him. And in the beginning, notice that the eye gives more liberties than it seems, because the side without the eye has to play on all the inside liberties and remove these liberties from himself. The eye actually gives that many liberties to the other player. I know this is more complicated than the other examples I've placed in this video, so don't worry if you can't understand everything about it. I'm just trying to make the idea, the concept clear, and I hope I'm doing that well. Notice that even if black had another turn, not only did he start with this move, white doesn't reply and black plays another move. Suddenly, you think that, oh, black now is way ahead in liberties. He has to be able to win. Black is suffering from the same problem. If he tries to capture white, he has to fill in the inside liberties. And he can never do that. Again, if he plays on L18, he'll be placing himself in Atari. White would just capture him. And white can capture black whenever he wants. Just Atari from the outside and capture. This is why there's a saying in Go, which is, eye versus no eye is not a fight. It gives so many more liberties. It doesn't guarantee a win always, but it gives you so many more liberties. It's very hard to fight a one-eyed group with a group with no eyes. Notice that I'm not talking about two-eyed groups, because if any of the groups had two eyes, it would not be a capturing grace at all. If white had a second eye here, then white can never be captured. It's not a fight. Black's got offense around it, and these stones are dead. We are concentrating on fighting positions. Notice also that since white knows this, he can use that too. Because if white doesn't know about eye versus no eye, he might think, okay, well, I have 4 outside liberties and 2 shared ones. And black has 4 outside liberties and 2 shared liberties. So my turn should be okay. And start filling in the outside liberties. The problem is that the point black would take is the point that would enable white to make an eye. And as the capturing grace continues, we get to a very familiar situation in which neither side wants to Atari the opponent because he would be captured himself. That would be a seki. Had white known about eye versus no eye, he would most probably make the eye, and we know where it goes from there. We've already seen it. So it's an important concept to understand. Of course, only 2 eyes make you completely immune, but as we all know or should know, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Same applies to Go. The last topic I'd like to go over in this video is called approach moves. And it deals with moves which aren't strictly, according to the rules, aren't really liberties of one of the groups, but should be counted as such for the capturing grace. For example, in this case, both sides have exactly 1 outside liberty and 1 shared liberty. So it seems that whoever's turn it is to move will win the game, or the capturing grace. The problem is the point marked at 1. Black can't really play there. If he tries, white just captures it. That means that in order to play on K19, the marked point, black will have to play J19 first, giving white time to really enclose a liberty. And black is an Atari and will be captured, of course. We call J19 an approach move that has to be made before K19 is taken. And we can count it as an extra liberty white has. So the white group actually has 3 liberties. Black needs 3 moves to take it. It needs 1, 2, and then 3. Whereas white only needs 2. 1 and 2. This sums up what I'd like to show in this basic video of capturing graces. If you think that is very basic and too easy, well, I'm happy for you. That means you understood this topic very well indeed. But don't worry if you're interested in this topic. There is a lot more to learn about capturing graces, and I will be going over many of it in future videos. Topics such as what happens when there are big eyes involved in the capturing grace, not only these 1-point eyes. Y shapes, but big eyes. How do they affect the liberty count? And what happens when co's are involved in the capturing grace? Oh, and more than 2 groups are involved in it. Many of these issues, and more complicated ones, are not for this video. I felt they would be too complicated for a basic video. And I don't want to tire you too much with concepts I'm not sure you're ready for. But if you want them, don't worry, I will be placing more videos on the subject. And for now, that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye!